Fenholloway is a beautiful river. It is a blackwater stream originating in the San Pedro Bay wetlands, running 36 miles to the Gulf of Mexico.
The Fenholloway was a beautiful river once upon a time, according to the natives of Taylor County, Florida. But not anymore. The algae blooms and the seagrass had disappeared. The water had turned black as motor oil. The insects were deformed, and almost all of the marine life had been wiped out, except the female mosquito fish, which scientists observed had begun developing male genitalia. As far as water quality, I can't think of anything worse in Florida. A researcher with the Environmental Protection Agency told the St. Petersburg Times in March of '91. It was no wonder why. The Buckeye cellulose plant, which opened in Perry, Florida in 1954, had been pumping 50 million gallons of wastewater into the Fenholloway River every day for decades. The mill's effluent, which included chlorine, was simply discharged and forgotten. And it was all perfectly legal. Back in 1947, local leaders in Taylor County, in an effort to attract big business, persuaded the Florida State Legislature to classify the Fenholloway River as an industrial river. The law, in part, stated that any industrial operation in Taylor County, quote, shall have and is hereby granted the right and is hereby empowered to discharge and deposit sewage, industrial and chemical wastes and effluents, or any of them, into the waters of the Fenholloway River and the waters of the Gulf of Mexico, into which said river flows. The devastation that occurred as a result of the new law was breathtaking. During droughts, the Buckeye plant's discarded waste seeped into aquifers and drinking wells instead of flowing into the Gulf as intended. This revelation helped explain the dead dogs, stomach issues, and blistering scalps common among the residents who lived on the riverbanks. This revelation also proved to be the breaking point for many of those residents. More than 40 years after the Fenholloway's industrial classification, people demanded change. In 1994, Taylor County's commissioners voted to strip the Fenholloway River of its industrial status. In 1997, a $39 million effort to restore the polluted waterway was underway. In December 2020, the company installed a 15-mile pipeline that rerouted all the Buckeye waste out past the river to instead dump it directly into the Gulf of Mexico. There, problem solved.